Do you agree that Dirk Nowitzki is the best European player of all time? Many great NBA stars support this claim. They praise not only his basketball skills, but also his character quality, stating that Dirk is not only a great teammate, but a great opponent as well. So, if you take a closer look at his career and his personal achievements through the last 2 decades, you may agree with that opinion too. First of all, how many of you can you bring in mind a player who had a signature move that was so unstoppable as Dirk's one-legged fadeaway shot was? Maybe only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with his famous skyhook can be compared with Dirk in terms of shots that were almost impossible to stop. But why and how Dirk came up with his trademark shot? He has stated that he was getting older and wasn't able to make a lot of drives and be as fast as he was in the past, so he had to find a way to be efficient with a less amount of work. Just keep in mind that Dirk stands at 6 feet 11 inches, his arm's length is 35 inches and his vertical is 12 inches. What does this mean? It means that Dirk was able to fire from 9 feet 5 inches, and as LeBron said before the 2011 finals, no one can block a shot that is taken from that height. Surely you have watched many players that tried to imitate that move, but no one was so efficient in making that shot count, and of course it was very hard to execute with that delicate technique. As an NBA commentator once mentioned, you know you're a top class player when other NBA stars like Kobe Bryant and LeBron James try to imitate your moves. LeBron admits that he can't perform the move as well as the German does, but that's his way of showing his admiration and respect to Dirk. To tell the truth, before Dirk, we had never seen such a tall player with that incredible touch at shooting. We suggest to spend a little bit of your time and check the technique behind the shot, and it's very interesting to see what sport experts and scientists have to say about Dirk's fadeaway. One of them mentioned that even if a player had the same height as Yao Ming, who is 7'6", and a vertical jump of 41 inches like the one Derrick Rose has, he still wouldn't have been able to stop it. You see, when Dirk tried a shot, you can only pray that he missed. The block option is out of the picture. Let's start at the beginning. We should feel lucky that when Dirk was 15 years old, he decided to leave the tennis courts and follow a basketball career. He started training with a former German coach, developing his skills day by day, impressing everyone who was around and was watching him grow. Although he was doing great on German courts, everyone knew that it was time for the gifted teenager to make the next step and try his luck in the United States of America. During an exhibition game where he played against Scottie Pippen and other NBA players, he impressed everyone by posterizing Charles Barkley, and the NBA star had only respectful words for the young boy, mentioning that he is a genius and he can enter the NBA world whenever he wants. But back in 1998, who could expect such a magnificent career from Dirk when he was selected by the Milwaukee Bucks with the 9th overall pick in the NBA draft? I'm pretty sure that Milwaukee quickly regretted that they immediately traded him to Dallas that summer. Surely at Dallas they must feel really lucky and blessed that Nowitzki spent his whole career there, 21 years with the Mavericks, and now he is recognized by everyone as a club legend, and he holds almost every single team record in each statistical category. Don't forget that he is the only NBA player to play 21 years for the same team. He changed the history and increased the status of the Mavs with his presence there. As it happens most of the times, things were not easy at the beginning. Nowitzki was a little European boy that from one day to another had to change his style of play and adjust to the NBA requirements. Moreover, back then American coaches were hesitant towards European players, especially at the defensive part of the game, as they thought that they couldn't cope with the necessities of the game. He had a difficult rookie season and he was even thinking to go back to Germany, but from the next year, alongside Steve Nash and Finley, they created a really competitive team and led Dallas to their first playoff appearances since 1990. It was in 2003 when Dirk changed his style of play, as he was mostly used as a center who emphasized on defense for the first part in his career. He could easily play as a small forward and a power forward, and occasionally was used at the center position, especially when he was playing for his national team in major competitions. He led the non-competitive German side to the 2002 Mundo Basket semis and to the 2005 Eurobasket final, and was named at both competitions the tournament MVP, and he was the leading scorer as well. He was also the leading scorer and rebounder at the 2001 Eurobasket, and he was the reason Germans started watching their national basketball team. In 2004, his teammate and good friend Steve Nash left Dallas and joined the Phoenix Suns. It was a crucial point for both players' careers, as Nash was named NBA MVP the following 2 years, and Dirk, now as the absolute team leader in Dallas, increased his numbers, became part of the All-NBA first team, and led them 2 years later to their first NBA Finals. In 2006, he became the tallest player ever to win a three-point competition during the All-Star Weekend, beating Ray Allen and Gilbert Arenas, and 1 year later, in his MVP season, he joined the 50-40-90 club, just the 5th player in NBA history to do so. The 2005-2006 season was one of the best in his career. He was again voted as the All-NBA first team, played incredibly well against the San Antonio Spurs at the Western Conference semifinals, and gave us an epic duel with Tim Duncan, two of the best power forwards of all time going at it. Go and watch it. As we mentioned, Dirk helped the Mavs to reach the 2006 NBA Finals, where they eventually lost to the Miami Heat despite taking an early 2-0 lead, but he had his big chance of revenge in 2011 when, once again, he faced Dwayne Wade's Miami Heat in the finals. This time though, things were a little bit more difficult for Dallas, as LeBron James had joined the Miami Heat the previous summer and was the major favorite to win his first championship as part of the Big Three alongside Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, but Dirk, with his heroic performances, led the Mavericks to their first and only championship and was named NBA Finals MVP. Dirk's 2011 playoff run became the stuff of legends. What a great honor for a European player to be the only one from Europe to capture both the NBA MVP and the NBA Finals MVP award. Let's see if Giannis can achieve that later in his career. To this day, everyone remembers his memorable performance at Game 4 when, despite being ill, he led the Mavs and tied the series at 2-2. A lot of journalists compare this performance with Michael Jordan's infamous flu game back in 1997. The following years, until his retirement, Dallas couldn't repeat the glory days of the past, but Dirk was trying to keep them in the playoff picture, even though he didn't have much help in a very difficult Western Conference. With his retirement, NBA lost one of the greatest forwards ever, and its top non-European scorer of all time, as he is 6th at the all-time scoring list. His greatest legacy? That he is a true example of how a superstar can be down on earth, and with his work ethic and hard work, can gain the respect of everyone and motivate children around the world to follow their dreams and try their best to achieve their goals. Kids like Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. We miss you, Dirk, and thank you for the moments.